Philippine laws that promotes nationalism and patriotism. First, Republic Act No. 10086, an act strengthening people's nationalism through Philippine history by changing the nomenclature of the National Historical Institute into the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, strengthening its power and functions, and for other purposes, also known as the Philippine Cultural Heritage Act of 2010. Number 2, Republic Act 8044, also known as the Youth in National Building Act, an act creating the National Youth Commission, establishing a national comprehensive and coordinated program on youth development, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Republic Number 3 is Republic Act Number 1425, an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, college, and university courses on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal, particularly his novels Na Limitangere and El Filibusterismo, authorizing the printing and distribution thereof and for other purposes. Number 4, the 1987 Constitution. Number 5, Republic Act Number 10390, an act amending Republic Act Number 7306, entitled An Act Providing for the Establishment of People's Television Network, Incorporated, defining its power and function, providing for its sources of funding and for other purposes, also known as an act revitalizing the People's Television Network Incorporated. Number 6, Republic Act Number 9512, approved last December 12, 2008, also known as an act to promote environmental awareness through environmental education and other purposes, or the National Environmental Awareness and Education Act of 2008. It is an act to promote environmental awareness through environmental education, or EE, and covers the integration of the EE in the school curricula at all levels, be it public or private, including daycare, preschool, non-formal technical, vocational, indigenous learning, and out-of-school youth courses or programs. Section 6 of Act ways that the DepEd, CHED, TESDA, DENR, DOST, and other relevant agencies, in consultation with experts on the environment and the academe, shall lead in the implementation of public education and awareness program on environmental protection and conservation through collaborative interagency and multi-sectoral effort at all levels. It also declares November as the Environmental Awareness Month in the Philippines. Philippine Commission on Women defines gender and development as the development perspective and process that is participatory and empowering, equitable, sustainable, free from violence, respectful of human rights, supportive of self-determination and actualization of human potentials. Gender and Development, or GAD, approach focuses on the socially constructed basis on differences between men and women and emphasizes the need to challenge existing gender roles and relations. GAD was developed in the 1980s as an alternative to the Women in Development, or WID approach. Unlike WID, the GAD approach is not concerned specifically with women, but with the way in which a society assigns roles, responsibilities, and expectations to both men and women. GAD applies gender analysis to uncover the ways in which men and women work together, presenting results in natural terms of economies and efficiency. The World Bank was one of the first international organizations to recognize the need for women in development, appointing a WID advisor in 1977. In 1984, the bank mandated that its program and considered women's issues, in 1994, the bank issued a policy paper on gender and development reflecting current thinking on the subject. This policy aims to address policy and institutional constraints that maintain disparities between the genders, thus limit the effectiveness of development programs. Gender and Development, or GAD, is concerned with women and her specific roles, responsibilities, and expectations in the society. It also analyzes the nature of women's contribution within the context of work done both inside and outside the household and reflects the public-private dichotomy that undervalues the work done by women in the home. GAD focuses on the principle that development is for all. Everyone in society, female or male, have the right to equal opportunities to achieve a full and satisfying life. It does not define the following. Number 1, not a war of the sexes. Number 2, not anti-male. Number 3, both women and men are victims, although women more than men. Number 4, both have a stake in the struggle of gender equality. Gender and development-related laws and issuances in the Philippines. Philippine Plan for Gender and Development 1995 to 2025, national plan that addresses, provides, and pursues full equality and development for men and women. Approved and adopted by former President Fidel V. Ramos, our Executive Number 273, on September 8, 1995. It is the successor of the Philippine Development Plan for Women, 1989 to 1992, adopted by Executive Number 384 of February 17, 1989. Republic Act Number 9710, Magna Carta of Women, approved on August 14, 2009, which mandates for non-discriminatory and pro-gender equality and equity measures to enable women's participation in the formulation, implementation, and evaluation of policies and plans for national, regional, and local development. Memorandum Circular Number 20011 to 01 dated October 21, 2011, addressing to all government departments, including their attached agencies, offices, bureaus, state universities and colleges, RSUCs, government-owned and controlled corporations, or GOCCs, and all other government instrumentalities as their guidelines and procedures for the establishment, strengthening, and institutionalization of Gender and Development, or GAD, Focal Point Systems, or GFPS. Republic Act 7877, Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995. It is an act declaring sexual harassment unlawful in the employment, education, and for other purposes. Was approved on February 14, 1995 and became effective on March 5, 1995. Republic Act 9262, Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act of 2004. It protects the family and its members, particularly women and children, from violence and threats to their personal safety and security. Republic Act 7192, Women and Development and National Building Act. The Act provides guidance and measures that will mobilize and enhance participation of women in the development process in ways equal to that of men. Memorandum Circular Number 48, Series of 2013, directing all concerned government agencies to adopt the gender equality guidelines in the development of their respective media policies and implementing programs in order to promote gender mainstreaming. Republic Act 10354, the Responsible Parenthood and Reproductive Health Act of 2012, or the PH Law. It is a law in the Philippines which guarantees universal access to methods on contraception, fertility control, sexual education, and maternal care. 1987 Constitution, Article 3, Section 14, the state recognizes the role of women in nation building and shall promote the fundamental equality before the law of women and men. Sex and gender, how do they differ? An extremely important part of an individual's identity and one of that begins, at least at birth, is gender. Dr. Kenneth Kushner, 2012. It is more than just knowing that you are a male or female. Identification of sex is usually clearly internalized by the age of 3, begins around the age of 18 months. Gender refers to that specific set of characteristics that identifies the social behavior of women and men and the relationship between them. Gender alludes not simply to women or men, but the relationship between them and the way it is socially constructed, since gender biases exist and these biases prevent people from attaining their full potentials. Development is impeded. Sex, categorized as male or female, biological, fixed at birth, does not change across time and space, equally valued. Gender, masculinity and femininity, socially, culturally, and historically determined, learned through socialization, varies over time and space, unequally valued, masculinity as the norm. Gender identity or gender role includes knowledge of large set of rules and expectation for what boys and girls should wear, how they should speak and act, and their place in the overall structure of the society. Can be affected by number 1, race. Each of the major divisions of humankind having distinct physical characteristics. Number 2, ethnicity. The fact or state of belonging to a social group that has common national or cultural tradition. Number 3, social class. A division of society based on social and economic status. Upper class, new money, middle class, working poor, and poverty level. Number 4, religion, a particular system of faith and worship. Number 5, geographical region, a demarcated area of the earth. Common myth about gender. Number 1, if a father does the household work, he is considered as under the saya. Number 2, men are better leaders and administrators than women. Number 3, it is the woman's fault if she is being harassed sexually when she is wearing skimpy clothing. Number 4, it is not proper for a girl to say I love you first to a boy. The mother should be the only one responsible for child rearing and parenting. Terms related to gender. Number 1, socialization, the process by which social norms, roles, and expectations are learned and internalized. Number 2, gender socialization. It is the process by which norms and expectations in relation to gender are learned by women and men. Number 3, gender stereotype, a form of prejudgment, bias, or limitation given to a roles and expectation of males and females. This may affect the gender equality and inequality in the society. Number 4, gender equality gives men and women the entitlement to all aspects of human development. Number 5, gender inequality refers to an equal treatment or perception of individual based on their gender. Gender stereotype involves the differentiation attributed by a given culture to women and men in the following aspects. Number 1, social roles. Number 2, capacities. Number 3, traits and characteristics. Number 1. Stereotype in social roles between men and women. Men provide financially for the family, works as manager, construction builders, or engineers, portrayed as leaders. Women takes care of the house and children, works as a nurse, teacher, or secretary, portrayed as followers. 2. Gender stereotype in capacities between men and women. Men, good in math and science, physically strong, firm in decision making. Women, good in arts and less intellectual pursuits, physically weaker and fragile, wishy-washy or fickle-minded in decision making. Number 3. Gender stereotype in traits and characteristics between men and women. Men, active, aloof, aggressive, independent, brave. Women, passive, loving, peaceful, dependent, fearful. Areas or channel of socialization according to Dr. Ralph G. Perino of 2000. Family, school, peers, mass media, public opinion, and religion play a major role in the socialization and ultimately the education process. Each of us proceeds through life in a manner that we often believe in under our immediate control and influence. It seems logical that the action we take and the impact of those actions is based upon a series of logical, rational decisions selected and filtered by choice, not chance. Although this seems a reasonable manner in which to assess one's lot in life, it is far from the reality, particularly in the areas of education. One of the most dramatic impacts on child education is that of socialization process. Family, church, mass media, school, peers. Family. In the context of human society, a family, from Latin word familia, is a group of people related either by consanguinity, by recognized birth, affinity, or by marriage or the other relationship, or the co-residents, relatives, and servants. It is also known as the basic for raising children. In the most societies, the family is the principal institution for the socialization of children. Two types of family. Number 1, immediate family. May include spouses, parents, brothers, sisters. Number 2, extended family. It may include grandparents, aunts, uncle, cousins, nephews, nieces, and siblings-in-law. Sometimes, these are also considered member of the immediate family, depending on an individual's specific relationship with them. General classification of family structure. Number 1, matrifocal family. This kind of family occurs commonly where women have the resources to rear their children by themselves or where men are more mobile than women. Opposite of patrifocal family. Number 2, patriarchal family is a family in which the father is considered head of household. This is true regardless of which parent is the primary breadwinner. In a household with a working mom and stay-at-home dad, also known as father-centered family or father-dominated family, opposite of matriarchal family. Number 3, conjugal family or nuclear family or single family, a traditional form of family that includes only the husband, the wife, and unmarried children who are not of age. Number 4, a vernacular family, a family composed of a grandparent, a brother, his sister, and her children. Number 5, childless family is so sometimes the forgotten family as it does not meet the traditional standards set by society. Childless families consist of a husband and wife living and working together. Many childless families take on the responsibility of pet ownership or have extensive contact with their nieces and nephews as a substitute for having their own children. Number 6. Extended family. Family that extends beyond the nuclear family, including grandparents, aunts, uncle, and other relatives who all live nearby or in one household. Number 7. Family of choice, chosen family, is a common within the LGBT community, both in academic literature and in colloquial vocabulary. It refers to the group of people in an individual's life that satisfies the typical role of family as a support system. Number 9. Blended family or step family describe families with mixed parents, one or both parents remarried, bringing children of the former family into the new family. Number 9. Monogamous family. In this case, an individual has only one official partner during their lifetime into the new family. Number 10. Polygamous family. A family composed of marriage that includes more than two partners, or polygamous. A polygamy, a man is married to more than one wife at a time, which is common in some parts of Middle East and Africa and is often associated with Islam. B. Polyandry, when a woman is married to more than one husband at a time, traditionally practiced in areas of Himalayan mountains among Tibetans in Nepal, in parts of China, and in parts of northern India. C. Fraternal polyandry, where two or more brothers are married to the same wife. Polyamory, if a marriage includes multiple husband and wives, group or conjoint marriage. Process involves gender socialization in the family. Number 1. Manipulations means that people handle girls and boys differently as infants. Mothers tend to use more physical stimulation on male infants and more verbal stimulation on female infants. Boy babies are tossed in the air. Girl babies get more delicate handling. Number 2. Canalization means that people direct children's attention to gender-appropriate objects. Choice of toys: boys are given toy cars and machines. Girls are given dolls and tea sets. Toys teach children what their prescribed role in life will be. Number 3. Verbal appellation, telling children what they are and what is expected of them. Brave boy, pretty girl, boys don't cry, girls don't hit playmates. Number 4. Activity exposure, familiarizing children to their gender-appropriate tasks. Girls help their mother with housework. Boys are encouraged to play outside the house. B. Church or religion. It is collection of cultural system, belief system, and world views that relate humanity to spirituality and moral values. The practice of religion may also include ritual sermons, commendation, or veneration of the deity, gods or goddesses, sacrifice, matrimonial services, meditation, prayer, music, art, dance, public service, or other aspects of human culture. Gender roles in Christianity vary considerably today as they have during the last two millennia. This is especially true with regards to marriage and ministry. Effects of religion. Number 1. Regular attendance at religious services is linked to healthy, stable family life, strong marriage, and well-behaved children. Number 2, religious worship also leads to a reduction in the incidence of domestic abuse, crime, substance abuse, and addiction. Number 3, in addition, religious practice can increase physical and mental health longevity and education attainment. Mass media. These are diversified media technologies that are intended to reach a large audience via mass communication. It has an immense impact on young minds with the advent of the internet. Television now has a partner in the role of visual stimulant of young minds. The culture portrayed by the mass media emphasizes glamour, sexual satisfaction, and promiscuity, comedic, vulgarity, violence, and immediate gratification of needs. The organization that control these technologies, such as television, station, or publishing companies, are also known as the mass media. Effect of mass media in socialization. Number 1, media sexualization of young female celebrities. Number 2, video games that promote violence and negative stereotype. Number 3, music lyrics and music videos that promote negative stereotypes and violence. Number 4, sex stereotypes in kids' TV program. Different types of mass media. Number 1, broadcast media, such as radio, recorded music, film and television, transmit their information electronically. Number 2, print media, use of physical objects such as a newspaper, book, pamphlet, or comics to distribute their information. Number 3, outdoor media, is a form of mass media that comprises billboards, signs or placards placed inside and outside of commercial buildings, sport, stadium, shops, and buses. Other outdoor media include flying billboards or sign in tow of airplanes, blimps, and skywriting. Number 4, public speaking and event organizing can also be considered as form of mass media. Number 5, digital media comprises both internet and mobile mass communication. Internet media provides many mass media services such as email, websites, blog, and internet-based radio and television. School. It is an institution for educating children. Any institution at which instruction is given in a particular discipline, a group of people. It is an artificial institution set up for the purpose of socialization and cultural transmission. The school can be regarded as a formally constituted community as opposed to mutual communities. How does school perform the function of socialization? Number 1, through the curriculum, the school in a formal way provides the child with a knowledge of basic intellectual skills such as reading, writing, verbal expression, quantitative and other cognitive abilities. B. Education teaches languages and allow people to communicate with each other according to positions in society. C. Cultural achievements of one society. D. Opportunities to acquire social and vocational abilities which are necessary in order to make one a socially useful and economically productive member of the society. And last, gender roles as perceived as suitable roles by the society. Number 2, educational systems socialize students to become member of the society, to play meaningful roles in the complex network of independent positions. Number 3, education helps in shaping values and attitude to the needs of the contemporary society. Number 4, education widens the mental horizon of pupils and teaches them new way of looking at themselves and their society. Number 5, education offers young people opportunities for intellectual, emotional, and social growth. Thus, education can be influential in promoting new values and stimulating adoption of changing conditions.